Hello, I'm Delusion Dispeller, and welcome to part 3 of how to create narcissistic adult children. Sadly, in some cases, such as in the story of a man named David Peltzer in a book called A Child Called It, and he had some other parts of the series that you can also read. There may have even been a movie about it, I'm not sure. Anyway, within this story, one of the parents, quote unquote parents, the quote unquote mother, was very emotionally and physically abusive of him. She was very narcissistic along with probably psychopathic, most likely. And what happened in this case was the father sat back and let it all go on. He didn't stop it. And I think he pretty much overcompensated by doing fun things with David when the abuser was not around. In these kind of cases, which there's a lot of them actually, one of the parents may be the narcissistic abuser and the other parent is what's called the enabler. They allow it to go on without doing anything about it. If you're angry at somebody that was a quote unquote parent in your life for sitting back and letting the other quote unquote parent abuse you, you have every right to be angry. Every right. Now, should you forgive them? You know, Forgiveness is something that's a whole other topic. I think it depends on the situation as far as how to go about the forgiveness and getting to that point. It takes sometimes a long, long time to bring your heart to do that. It is best in the end for you to let go of the pain that caused you, not only to be abused, but for the person that was supposed to protect you and rescue you to not have done that. It takes a lot to get to that point. And we're not covering forgiveness right at the moment, so I'm not going to broach on that subject yet. Anyways, so the one person sits back while the other one is manipulating and abusing and controlling the child. And it is often easier for a passive-minded adult to ignore what's going on rather than countering the narcissist themselves in their actions against the child. So the father or the mother, egg donor, sperm donor, as I call them, may just sit there hearing everything happening to the child and actually do nothing to stop it or to counter it in any way. Later on, that passive parent will make up for it, or they think they're making up for it, by buying the child nice things or spending special moments with the child, giving them special attention. Usually, while that passive adult is engaging in playtime with the child or giving them gifts or whatever, they will not even discuss what just happened with the narcissistic adult, the other one that was abusing them, thus continuing the form of gaslighting in which that abused little one or teen begins to doubt if the actions against them are even real, or maybe they exaggerated in their own mind, or maybe it didn't even happen at all. They question, their own sanity after a while. They also may decide that if only they were more obedient, subservient, a good girl, a good boy, that they wouldn't have been mistreated. That is why narcissistically abused adults often can't find self-acceptance and will disparage their own self and self-deprecate. Narcissists are selfish, only seeking what benefits themselves and makes them look good in the eyes of others. This means that the child's needs or esteem are often neglected and ignored by that abuser. Narcissists use blackmail and bait and switch techniques to keep the child or teen tightly in their control at all times. Narcissists are often envious of any successes or gains that the child or teen is making, and they will thwart every effort of the child, to move ahead in life or to gain any praise from their accomplishments. A narcissistic adult will even sometimes stoop so low as to bribe the child into doing whatever it is they want them to do, even things that go against the child's morals, values, or better judgment. It would not be unusual, for instance, for a narcissistic adult to tell a child to lie or steal for them while promising if they do, they'll earn a reward or some form of affection from the narcissist. But Once the child or teen does what the narcissist wants, for instance, stealing from a store, lying to a family member, and then the deception of that child is found out, the narcissist will then be seen to quickly turn toward the child, scolding them and even physically beating them, telling them, "You know better. I can't believe you'd ever steal from Mrs. Smith, such a nice lady." The child of the narcissist is thus confused as to the narrative and results that have been flipped over to make things look other than they are, which was actually the narcissist's plan for the child to do the bad thing to begin with. And this leaves the child or teen confused, bewildered, angry, and possibly even scared of the narcissist and of life in general. This type of erratic turning of the tables creates very distrusting adults who are never sure in relationships if what they are experiencing is going to end up in their favor or if the other shoe is about to drop. As the child gets older, the narcissist might begin to assert their own desires and plans and will often become depressed and clingy. They do not want to fathom a life in which they do not maintain the upper hand, nor can they imagine being without their gopher child, the child that does all their biddings. As the child advances into adult stages, this is where the guilt tripping is escalated to unreal degrees. As the narcissistic adult says things like, "Go ahead, just leave. When I'm dead and gone, you're going to feel bad and wish you had been here for me." Often a comparison with a sibling will come into play from the narcissist, such as, "If you only cared about me and weren't so selfish, like your sister Gracie, she always calls me every day to check on me, brings me treats to cheer me up. You are too busy with your big city life to be bothered with me, but I understand. I know I'm a nuisance and your friends are more important. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. One day I'll be dead and gone and nobody will have to worry about me." You can see where this would deter even the most adventurous of an emerging young adult. Constant criticism, never measuring up, focusing on faults and shortcomings, always demanding more to the point that the child feels guilty, dumb, a failure, so that when you're not there, they'll hear things about themselves that they're not saying, but your voice, as the narcissist will say, is just absolutely cruel and unusual punishment. Seriously. So, thank you for watching this. I will be working on part 4 shortly for you, and I appreciate your kind attention to these videos. I hope they help somebody. I hope they give insights or just kind of help you feel validated. Again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to my videos if you think they're valuable. Pass them along to anybody you think needs them, and I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Be blessed. Shalom.